Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to level up your money game?
Always ready for that.
Today we're diving deep into how to make, manage, and grow money. We'll pull out the good stuff, give you those action steps.
And a few of those light bulb moments, hopefully.
Exactly. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so right off the bat, this excerpt talks about two ways to build wealth: actively earning and passive income.
Two different paths, right?
It's like choose your own adventure, financially speaking.
I like that. So active income, that's your classic 9 to 5, but also things like side hustles. The source mentions freelancing on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. Ever thought about that?
Freelancing, it's huge these days. You can leverage your skills, work from anywhere. It's a game changer, but you got to choose something that fits you.
Right. Like the source contrasts tutoring and ride sharing.
Sure.
One's about knowledge, the other's using your car. Two totally different hustles.
Totally. But the key is, does it align with you, your skills, your interests? You'll be more successful if you enjoy what you're doing.
Makes sense. Now, passive income. That's the dream, right? Money working while you sleep.
It's not magic, but it does take a different approach. Investing is key here. Stocks, ETFs, real estate.
Hold on, can we break down ETFs for a sec? I always get them mixed up with stocks.
Sure thing. Think of an ETF like a basket of stocks. Say you want to invest in tech, but don't want to pick individual companies. You buy a tech ETF, boom, you're diversified.
Got it. So whether it's stocks, ETFs, or real estate, it's about putting your money to work, earning over time.
Exactly. And remember, patience is key. Investing is a long game.
Speaking of putting things to work, the source also talks about digital products like ebooks, online courses, creating something once and having it generate income. That's passive, right?
Definitely. It's like taking your knowledge, your experience, and turning it into a product. But it does take work up front, identifying your audience, creating great content.
It all comes back to knowing your strengths. But let's be real, even with a great income, managing it is crucial.
Couldn't agree more. Making money is one thing. What you do with it matters just as much. Budgeting.
Ugh, the B word. So many people see it as restrictive, but this source frames it as a tool, especially with a 50-30-20 rule: 50 for essentials, 30 for wants, 20 for savings and debt.
That rule's a great starting point. Helps you see the big picture, But like any rule, it's a guideline, not set in stone.
Right. Everyone's situation is different. So tracking your expenses, knowing where your money goes, that's key, right?
Absolutely. Budgeting's about awareness, making conscious choices. And speaking of choices, when it comes to debt, there's the avalanche versus the snowball method.
Ooh, I like these names. It's not just about numbers, it's the psychology behind it, right?
Totally. Avalanche is logical, tackling high-interest debt first. But snowball, paying off small debts first, it's motivating. You get those quick wins, keeps you going.
So choose what works for you.
Well,
but enough about paying things off. Let's talk growing that money. Investing comes up again.
Right. Invest wisely, the source says. And it's about understanding risk versus reward. Think stocks and bonds.
Stocks, higher potential return, but also higher risk. Bonds, safer, but maybe slower growth. It's a balancing act.
It is. And knowledge is power here. The more you understand, the better choices you can make.
Totally. But before even thinking about investing, the source stresses the importance of an emergency fund. Got to have that safety net.
Couldn't agree more. Imagine that peace of mind, knowing you can handle unexpected expenses without going into debt.
Right. Car breaks down, medical bills, life happens. But back to growing money, this source emphasized the power of time.
The magic of compounding. The earlier you start saving, investing, the more time your money has to grow exponentially. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about consistency over time.
So even small amounts invested regularly can make a big difference down the line.
Absolutely. And speaking of the long game, the source wraps up by emphasizing learning. Financial literacy is crucial.
Keeping up with trends, educating yourself. It's a constantly changing world out there.
Right. New investments, market fluctuations. Staying informed is key. And sometimes getting advice from a professional can be super helpful.
A financial advisor can tailor a plan just for you, especially if things get complicated.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Making money, managing it, growing it, it's all connected.
But as we wrap up, I'm left with this question. What does financial success really mean to you? It's not just about numbers, right?
It's so personal. Financial freedom, pursuing passions, giving back. It's about figuring out what matters most to you and using your money to make it happen.
Love that. It's a journey, figuring it all out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.